Okay, so I have my things set up. I think I found the color blue that I'm gonna best match that kind of aqua colors, so I'm gonna go with that. And I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start out kind of light, just kind of a little bit of a wash, because I can always get darker if I want to add more color. And you can kind of see that resist coming through, so it looks pretty good. I'm gonna, like I said, kind of keep it lighter. I'm trying to match these values the best that I can, so I want to start out light and then, like I said, kind of darken as I need to. I can use the side of my brush or the tip of my brush if I want to create that edge, kind of pull it in. And I'm just going to kind of come through here. It's okay to let these brush strokes be kind of free and flowy. So for now, I'm just going to keep going. I am going to come back in and add shadows. And then I also want to leave the whites white. So some people like to use white watercolor. I like to keep it white and then just add, you know, the shadows and grays in the laces as I'll need to. So I'm going to come through. So, okay, this is a little bit darker. I am going to just add a little bit of the darker blue. But then I want to wash it out a little bit because there is some of this crayon here. And if you put too thick of watercolor on or too dark of watercolor, sometimes it does cover up the crayon. Even though the crayon resists pretty well, it works better when the watercolor is a little bit thinned out, a little bit more watery, or and not so thick. And I am going to kind of come in here. Right now I'm just using a smaller brush to kind of come in and add details. When you have bigger areas, some people like to use bigger brushes. It's whatever is kind of more comfortable for you. Obviously you don't want to use a huge brush when you're, you know, trying to paint small areas, because then you're going to get paint in areas you don't want to. So when you're working in smaller areas, I'd say smaller brush. And then for the background, if you want to do something, you know, different and fill more space quicker, then you can go ahead and get a bigger brush. So I am trying to keep this pretty, you know, true to the colors, to the values. But when I go to do my background, I want you to just kind of be more free, have more fun, still think about color choices that are going to complement your shoe, but also that will complement you and your personality. So, you know, sometimes we talk about warm colors being energetic and exciting, and cool colors being calm and relaxed, or sad, or kind of comforting, or, you know, cold. So you just think about those colors that you want to use and why you want to use them and how they're gonna, you know, represent you, but also work with the colors in your shoes. Okay. So I'm gonna keep going here for a little bit. I need to kind of focus a little bit more. Even though you can kind of work a little quickly with watercolor, you still want to take your time and never think that you're done just after doing one layer through. You know, like I said, you want to go in, you add those shadows, leave the highlights, which is where the light is shining, or the whiter areas. So for me, it would be the shoelaces, this very front area of my shoe where it's shiny, and you know, those I'm going to kind of try to leave nice and bright and white, and then I can add some black or darker. I don't even have to use black if I don't want to. I could just use darker shade of this blue, or mix in a different blue in there to kind of make it darker, and then add those for my shadows. So I'm going to come back and keep working on this for a little bit.